prone to catastrophic earthquakes, super typhoons, and volcanic eruptions. The Philippines is no stranger to deadliest natural disasters. Lying along the Pacific Ring of Fire or the vast horseshoe-shaped basin Circum-Pacific Belt, the Philippines traces its boundaries between several tectonic plates. Metro Manila was the only city that was highly vulnerable to disaster-related mortality from all the 6 types of disasters, namely typhoons, floods, droughts, earthquakes, landslides, and volcanic eruptions. According to the United Nations Department of Economics and Social Affairs, Population Division, Technical Paper number 4 of Danangu on Exposure and Vulnerability to Natural Disasters for World Cities. While the metro is said to be the most developed place in the country, it appears to be the most dangerous and uninhabitable city when a catastrophic earthquake strikes. Through the 6 cities in Metro Manila and nearby provinces, a 100-kilometer fault runs. The West Valley Fault could move and generated a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, which is also known as the Big One. This earthquake could kill 34,000 people and damage lifelines, including water, infrastructure, roads, ports, and telecommunication. While Metro Manila is envisioned to be a green unified metropolis, its cities are at risk of becoming an underwater city. According to Climate Central, in 3 decades, coastal flooding due to climate change could submerge several cities in the region. As the Philippines is threatened by rising sea levels, Manila City could be one of Asia's sinking cities, as well as Navotas, Malabon, and Pasay. Apart from the natural disasters, man-made disasters such as floods and pollution are constant threats to the lifeline of Filipinos. Over the years, Metro Manila has been tagged as the most congested city in developing Asia out of the 278 Asian cities with a population of more than 5 million people, based on a recent study by the Asian Development Bank. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, an estimated 410,000 vehicles traversing EDSA per day, 17 malls, 47 bus terminals, 150 perpendicular roads, with a daytime population of 10 million. Despite the new coronavirus lockdown, Manila ranks 4th in urban congestion worldwide, based on the 2020 TomTom Traffic Index, in over 400 cities across 57 countries and 6 continents. In terms of population, the population of Manila has grown at an alarming rate since 1970. Faster than any other city, according to Swiss air quality technology company IQ Air. Based on the 2020 national census, Metro Manila is second most populated region with a 13,484,462 population count. Meanwhile, as of May 2020, the Philippine population surges to 109 million, based on the Philippine Statistics Authority's census. By 2045, the Philippine population is projected to reach 142 million, while Metro Manila is expected to house 14 million people by 2030, based on the Metro Manila Green Print 2030. According to the Department of Science and Technology National Research Council of the Philippines, decongesting Metro Manila is the answer. PHIVOLCS Director Renato Solidum emphasized that upgrading Clark International Airport in Pampanga into a major airport like the Ninoy Aquino International Airport, as well as using ports in Batangas and Subic, would help to concentrate circulation in Metro Manila. When this catastrophic quake strikes the non-earthquake resilient government infrastructures, there is a foreseeable chance that the whole country will undergo a state of economic paralysis. This would mean a momentary hiatus in processes and transactions because of the most important economic arms are located in Metro Manila. About 100 kilometers away from the vulnerable and congested Manila, a smart, green, resilient modern Filipino city is set to rise as a backup city in case a disaster strikes the metro. Located within the vicinity of the Clark Freeport Zone and Clark International Airport, dubbed as the gateway to the world, the 9,450-hectare New Clark City can accommodate as many as 1.12 billion people. Formerly known as Clark Green City, the New Clark City is envisioned to be the Philippines' City of the Future as a legacy project of the Duterte administration, showcasing Dutertenomics strategy. Though its complete development may take decades, the country's City of the Future is now finally rising. New Clark City, dubbed as the country's City of the Future, is set to house the proposed Putrajaya-like 120 billion peso worth disaster-proof National Government Administrative Center, 13 billion world-class sports complex with its state-of-the-art athletics stadium, aquatic center, and athletes village. Situated 25 kilometers south of Kuala Lumpur, Putrajaya is Malaysia's federal administrative capital city where royal palaces, federal courts, and several government offices are located. On April 11, 2016, the groundbreaking rites for New Clark City were led by former President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III. The development became one of the flagship projects of Build, Build, Build of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, the 16th President of the Republic of the Philippines. BCDA, a state-owned firm that converts former military bases and properties into economic hubs, is set to develop the 3,500 hectares of the city and leaves 6,000 hectares or 60% of green and open spaces for upland farming and forest reserves. In partnership with Ayala Land and Campus Group, BCDA also developed the 240-hectare Bonifacio Global City or BGC in Taguig as the prime mover for the country's City of the Future. The firm has partnered with some foreign firms to develop tourism-related projects of the New Clark City. Singapore's largest engineering firm, Surbana Jurong, envisions the New Clark City as a city of the future with BCDA. As the development manager for Phase 1 of the project, the firm will help in turning the vision into a reality and in utilizing public and private partnerships to entice investors to New Clark City. In a joint venture deal, BCDA with MTD Capital Berhad Malaysia, through its local arm Alloy MTD, is set to develop the 220-hectare NGAC. Meanwhile, BCDA with Japan Overseas Infrastructure Investment Corporation for Transport and Urban Development, or JOIN, is set to build the Manila-Clark Railway project that will connect New Clark City to Manila and Clark International Airport. As one of Japan's biggest projects in the country, the PNR North Railway project is designed to accommodate 350,000 passengers per day. Meanwhile, BCDA signed a 50-year contract with the Philinvest Land Incorporated for the development of a 288-hectare land into a mixed-use township. The master planned community within New Clark City is a smart metropolis that fuses ecology, technology, and architecture into one innovative community, the Ecotecture philosophy. After choosing the New Clark City as one of the pilot areas of the UK Prosperity Fund Global Future Cities program, the UK government is set to build the New Clark City's Central Park with a business district wrapped around it, with a backdrop of the hills and an affordable housing project. A traffic-free city, the New Clark will be connected to the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Expressway, the country's longest expressway, and the Clark International Airport via access roads. At full capacity, Clark Airport will eventually be able to handle 80 million passengers annually. The railway network stretching from Calamba in Laguna to the new Clark City will also be operational by 2025. More than just a legacy project, New Clark City aims to rebirth Philippine sports and to celebrate Filipino culture, authenticity, and resiliency. All for the rebirth Philippine sports. The new Clark Sports Complex features a 20,000-seater athletic stadium with a 9-lane 400-meter track and field oval, a 6-lane warm-up track, and an indoor track, and the 2,000-seater aquatic center that has a 10-lane Olympic-sized swimming pool, a diving pool, and a warm-up training pool. Commissioned by the Basis Conversion Development Authority, Buji Royal Architecture, design of Royal Pineda and Buji Layog, collaborated with American urban planner and engineering firm AECOM for the construction of the sports hub. It is said to be the first modern sports complex developed by the government since the 1930s. Athletics Stadium. Hailed as the Philippines' top sports tourism venue, the new Clark City Stadium was also hailed as one of the world's best stadiums. The new Clark City Stadium made its grand debut in the 30th Southeast Asian Games under the We Win as One theme, hosting over 8,000 athletes from 11 competing nations. Inspired by the majestic caldera of Mount Pinatubo, the main stadium ring roofline resembles the Pinatubo crater. Volcanic debris and lahar compose the stadium's post and facade. Most structures within the complex has a dark gray lahar finish, representing the local sunset. The pillars shine with B+R active orange. The main facade was covered by glass frames. The stadium is the only International Association of Athletics Federations or IAAF certified athletic stadium in the country. The Aquatic Center is a 2,000-seater aquatic sports venue. Its special fiberglass roof is inspired by local Capiz grade windows or the weaves of the baklad or fishing nets. With its FINA certified Olympic-sized pool, 5-meter deep diving pool, and an 8-lane training pool, the center is the perfect place to train aspiring Filipino champions. With its basketball court, swimming pool, and fitness facilities, the 525-unit Athletes Village can accommodate up to 1,500 athletes. The facility is also a PWD-friendly accommodation beside a lush landscape of the River Park Corridor. Beyond its world-class beauty, the sports complex showcases practical luxury and modern Filipino creativity as it celebrates the country's culture and authenticity. Disaster-proof. Apart from its world-class beauty, this mega project under the ambitious 8 trillion peso Build Infrastructure program of the government is designed to be green and disaster-proof. 60 meters above sea level as compared to Manila's 5 meters. The city is less vulnerable to flooding. Sitting in the middle of Sierra Madre mountain ranges in the east, the city is seen to be less vulnerable to natural disasters. While it's only 35 kilometers away from Mount Pinatubo, the site was not reached by lahar flow during the 1991 eruption because of its higher elevation. With its disaster-proof heart and commitment to serve the people under all circumstances, the facilities of 121.83 billion peso worth National Government Administrative Center or NGAC are built to withstand 700mm thick ashfall and withstand a magnitude 8.5 earthquake. though it's 19 kilometers away from the nearest fault line, the East Zambales Fault. On November 17, 2020, President Rodrigo Duterte signed Executive Order Number 119, directing all departments, bureaus, and offices under the executive branch to put up their field offices at the NGAC. This 220-hectare National Government Administrative Center will also pave the way for the decongestion of Metro Manila, where most national government offices are located. Among the first-mover government agencies is the Department of Transportation. Before the end of the Duterte administration in 2022, at least 6 government facilities will be rising in New Clark City in Pampanga, including the Department of Agriculture, with its agro-industrial hub and National Seed Technology Park, the National Bureau of Investigation with its International Forensics, Biometrics, and Research Center, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, and its minting and currency production facility in the 4th quarter of this year or early 2022, the Supreme Court's first Judiciary Regional Center, a campus of the University of the Philippines, Technological University of the Philippines, TUP Center for Industrial Development and Productivity, a training facility for athletes by the National Academy of Sports, and the first Virology Science and Technology Institute of the Philippines for future pandemic response. More than just being a visually appealing zombie apocalypse-proof standby city, the new Clark City is expected to contribute about 1.57 trillion pesos per year to the country's gross domestic product, set to be bigger than Manhattan when completed in 2065 or in 30 to 40 years. The city has set its heart on resiliency towards the new normal and beyond. Planning for the unexpected, handling the unexpected at the time of the unexpected. And third, it's what you do afterwards are the 3 stages of the development of the disaster-resilient city. The complete development of the ambitious New Clark City will take decades. In an investment conference in 2014, former BCDA Chief Arnel Pasiano Casanova said that the Clark Green City, now the New Clark City, is a project for the benefit of the new generation. Hoping that the Filipinos will support the project, the city is set to yield growth that is inclusive, affordable quality of life that is world-class and responsive. Meanwhile, Bibencio Vince Dizon calls for the need of the continuity of President Duterte's Build, Build, Build project, including the new Clark City. He hopes and prays to God that the next administrations will consider pursuing these projects, even amid the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. And as it takes time beyond the pandemic, Clark works like a dream, and the Philippines is making it into a reality with a 360-degree view of resiliency.